Developing flexibility can be very simple. If you take these three approaches, you will really make great gains in breaking through ranges of motion that your body has never gotten to before in your life. So very simple. The first one is moving through the stretch. I call this one either bounce stretching, ballistic stretching, or dynamic stretching. Here are a couple examples of how to move through the stretch. This is a head to toe stretch for the hamstrings. With this, instead of just going down and staying static, bouncing in the stretch allows you to hit range of motion that you can go to for a second and then spend more time there as you guys get more flexible. Same thing with something like dynamic kicks. So something like a front kick is an example of a dynamic, ballistic, or moving through the stretch type of flexibility movement. Here. So it allows you to spend time in a range of motion that you don't necessarily have quite yet, but over time, your body gets more flexible in that range to access it more frequently. The second way that you guys should be training your flexibility is through active flexibility patterns. This is done through slow, controlled movements where you're trying to express your flexibility by using not only the flexibility of the muscle, but also the strength of the muscle as well. Simple examples is being able to do things like leg lifts, where I'm pulling a leg up, and instead of moving, I'm holding. And I'm just spending time with my foot above my hip. Another option is working it from the side, working it from behind. Very basic, but extremely effective. If you can spend more time with your leg above your hip, just in general, you will get more flexible within your hips. Another example of this is seated positions, where we're working on leg lifts with our hands down and trying to lift both legs up at the same time and holding. Here. Leg lifts are perfect examples of active flexibility patterns. They should be held for time and done with maximal control. The last way you guys should be training your flexibility is through isometric strength positions. So building strength in the position so that your body can open up and feel more confident opening up within the stretch. Two examples of this is training your isometric splits. So working on things like your active middle split position for time, where I'm holding the straddle position as wide as I can for time, or working on holding the front split position for time, here, or even regressed versions, like things just like holding a horse stance position, or doing things like split squats, where I'm building strength, or Cossack squats. These are examples of building strength within the stretch. And this again allows you to get more confident within the ligaments, within the joint, to go deeper within the stretch when you do it from a passive way. Passive stretching is kind of the lowest on the totem pole in terms of how you guys would actually be able to break through ranges of motion. The passive stretching should be a way of kind of testing. If you do all three of those techniques, you will have incredibly great usable flexibility. This is the flexibility that you want, the flexibility that when you do movements, you actually have your movements look nice. You're able to express the flexibility within those movements. So give those three techniques a try, and I promise you, you'll get a lot more flexible.